Hello, good morning and welcome to Get the Kids to School on Time workshop, wherever you are. Let me have a look. I need to share my screen. Oh, Bill is attending. I would not have thought Bill had school-age children, but maybe they have grandkids they look after. Here I am going to share the screen. Mary Lou, let me know when it's ready to go. You can see that sharing. Awesome. Bill, you are our Gold Star student. Thank you for coming along again. And Ebony is just joining us. We are just kicking off right on 10 a.m. And thank you all so much for joining us as we go through these steps of Get the Kids to School on Time. And lots of tips and techniques today to help you out. The session will be recorded today. We're going to send it to the people that registered and were unable to attend today, but also we will put it on YouTube for others to access. So feel free, if you would like to participate, you're welcome to turn on your camera and also to ask questions as we go along. But otherwise, we can use the chat to interact as we are going through this session. Ask any questions that you would like. And also, I'm going to be asking questions to you as we go through. And the first one is, what are your challenges to get the kids to school on time? So two things I'm asking actually. Where are you joining us from today? Where in the world are you? And the second one is, what are your challenges in getting the kids to school on time? So please pop them in the chat and let us know, because we would love to make sure we cover all of those questions that you have today for us. At the end of the session, I'm also going to share an offer to you to continue on your time management journey after today. It's not just something fun to do this morning. It can be a continuous journey for you and your family to improve your time management through a program called Get Focused, a 6-week program. I will tell you more about that. I'll come back to the chat in a second. Would love to hear again from you. Where are you joining us from, and what would you like to learn today? So the business space and time is all about making conscious choices about how we use our space and our time at home. And we are creating systems to improve our lives. And what better way to be able to do that is with some awesome morning and afternoon and evening routines for you and the family to get the kids to school on time. So it's some fabulous systems we're going to be talking about today, managing our time, but also let's set up the home with the right things around us to make that easier, to make it easier for us to get to school on time. Again, please share your intention in the chat with us so that we know what your intentions are for today, but also it helps you to be able to move forward. If you know what you want to get from this and where you're going on your time management journey, it's really helpful so that we've got a clear direction to go. So thank you, Mary Lou. She's popped in the chat. She is my awesome virtual assistant. I can't run my business without her. And she's joining us from the Philippines. Thank you very much, Mary Lou. And don't forget, everybody else that's joining us today, pop that in the chat. Let us know where you're coming from. And also, if you are watching this recording, please let us know in the comments as well where you're joining us from. We'd love to hear from you. So here I am. That's me a couple of years ago, just at the start of the pandemic. 2020, one of the last in-person workshops I ran before everything got closed down for a while. My gorgeous friend Penny took that photo from me. I'm Julie Cliff. I am a professional organizer and declutter coach. I call myself a professional organizer when I'm hands-on working with people in their homes here in Melbourne to declutter and organize their homes. But I also call myself a declutter coach when I am online like this, teaching you the skills and coaching you that yes, you can do it with some easy steps, and then you can go away and do the work yourself. Before running and starting my own business, which turned 8 years yesterday, hooray, happy birthday, space and time. 8 years yesterday. Before that, I was an executive assistant in an office, so helping others get and stay organised was something I love to do. Found a group of professional organisers here in Melbourne, probably 9, maybe even close to 10 years ago. Found out that yes, it is a thing that people need help in their homes, and I've been doing that ever since. Married with a husband and 2 boys, and everybody is actually home today. 2 of the boys now, Mary Lou, both of them have COVID, and we're pretty sure that my husband does as well, so he will do a test later today, but so far I am free of it. But we're all home today, sharing different spaces in the home. So that's who I am and what my business is all about. So very excited, as I said, that Space and Time turned 8 yesterday. Hooray! Oh, and Ebony, thanks Ebony. She's put in the chat that she's joining from St. Louis. I really appreciate that. St. Louis, however you say it. These Aussies probably say things a bit strangely sometimes, but thanks so much for joining us. Awesome for you to be here. What's on the next slide? This is an overview to show us what we're going to look at today. And as I said, it's all about getting the kids to school on time. So we're going to plan out what needs to be done each morning and night and allocate a specific time for each of those tasks. Excuse me. Empower the kids to do what they can, because we as parents shouldn't be doing it all for them. It's perfect opportunity for them to learn these things, these life skills, to getting to appointments on time, and allowing them to do it in their way as well. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Create a morning and evening routine, ensuring we have enough time in the morning to do all this, and also giving us some grace when starting a new routine, particularly if you have young school-age children. It's a very busy and messy time in your life. So one of my pet hates in life is putting kids' shoes on. I hate the physical thing of pushing them on like that and trying to tie them. They're wiggling around, and of course encourage them to put their own shoes on as early as you can. But as I suggest, a busy and messy time, toys, craft, you name it. So let's see if we can get ourselves sorted out into some sort of routine today to get them to school on time, so there's less tears and tantrums, and that might be from us as well as the kids. Here we are. We're going to have 10 steps today. The first one is know how long it takes you to actually get ready in the morning. Now, we are specifically going to be talking about getting ready for school today, but this could be anyone getting ready for an appointment at any time, no matter what age. Bill joining us. Not sure if you've got school-age kids or grandkids or who you've got there, Bill and Ebony. Let us know as well in the chat. But these tips are very helpful for anyone that wants to get themselves organised in relation to their time. So as I said, step 1, know how long it actually takes you to get ready in the morning. So get the timer out. How long does it take you to have a shower? How long does it take you to get dressed? Breakfast, pack your bag, and then of course, how long does it take you to drive or walk to school? And plot that out in the morning. If it's going to take you half an hour to have a shower, have breakfast and pack your bag, well, you'll need to, allow that time and more. It takes me a good couple of hours in the morning. By the time I get up, I have my exercise, I'll come back, I cool down, I hydrate, then I get everybody else's lunch. Sorry, I have my breakfast, get everybody's lunches, because that's just what I like to do. And then I go off to work. So, it takes me a couple of hours in the morning, but not everybody has a couple of hours. So let's figure out those important things to do in the mornings and get some reference times, so to know that I must be in the shower by 7 o'clock type thing, or the kids must be in the shower by 7:15 if they're going to do it in the morning, and have a little timer go off. I have lots of different notifications that come up on my phone. Have I got any here from this morning that I can share? Not particularly today, but When the kids were younger, it might say that the kids have got library today to remind us to take their library books, those sorts of things. So use alarms, points of reference through the morning to keep you on track so that you're going to walk out the door on time. So as it says there, step 1 is really having a good idea how long it takes you to get ready in the morning. All right, here we are. Bill's replied. Thank you again, Bill, for coming here. It's always a pleasure. Bill has 2 girls aged 51 and 48, and doing anything on time is a life skill. You are so right. It's great for us to practice all these things. So, but I appreciate you being here anyway. And Mary Lou has a son in grade 8. And Ebony has 2 second graders and a 3rd grader. Heavens above, that sounds very busy. Is that 3 little people, Ebony? Whoa, good on you. Let's hope that we get some good points here for you this morning. All right, so that was step 1. Thanks for using the chat. Continue to ask me questions as we go along, or as I said, unmute yourself and ask a question. Step 2 is after school. Let's do some good things after school that are going to help us in the morning as well. And one of the biggest things that I found and still find that makes our days run much smoother is for the kids to unpack their school bags and change out of their school uniforms as soon as they get home. So the first one is unpacking their school bag. So they get their lunch box out. They either put it on the sink for somebody else to do, but I'd certainly encourage them to just give it a quick rinse out then, or put it straight in the dishwasher. But you know, it doesn't have to be perfectly clean every time they use it. So just bear in mind again the time that you have to spend on this task. Get out their diary or their take-home reading books or their devices that they need to charge and that sort of thing. And of course, any notices that they might be bringing home from school. I think the printed notices are probably less and less from school these days. They're often online for parents to have to say yes, the kids can go on a school excursion and that sort of thing. But it's still a good part of the routine to be able to do all these things when the kids get home. Again, these are awesome tips for anybody that's coming home from school. If you're doing some study, you adults as well, coming home from work, coming home from doing your own business, coming home from the grocery shopping, unpack your gear as soon as you get home. I think these tips are really important. As Bill says, they're life skills to be able to be places on time. And these are all helpful tips that are going to make the next time we go out of the house much easier because we're already unpacked. And that second part in this step 2 is to reduce washing, get the kids to change out of their school uniform as soon as they get home. My 2 kids, not particularly smelly or stinky boys, they could wear their school uniform for most of the week and no one would even know or care. Because they change out of the uniform as soon as they get home. So they're not slopping their dinner down their front or, you know, any other after school activities making more mess. So they can wear their school uniform for a couple of days in a row. If you want to do their washing and wash their clothes every day, that's no problem, particularly when they're really small. They might need to because things, again, can be messy. But we're trying to make getting ready for school every day much simpler, and reducing the washing can be a really great way to help us get out the door on time in the mornings. The next step is step 3, and this can be done before bed or in the morning, is for the kids to have a shower or bath. So I've got a few points to say about that in relation to baths and showers. So choose the best time that's going to work for you and your family. Often the evenings are better for young families. They've got a little bit more time in the evening. It's not so rushed like it is in the morning. So maybe evening is the best time for you, and avoid, you know, being rushed in the morning, wasted water, knotted hair and tears, and perhaps do it in the evening when you have a little bit more time. But my boys have always got up early and they've always had a shower before school in the morning. But again, choose that time that's going to work for you and your family and the kids and how they are going. Sometimes when they're really little and have just started school, they probably fall asleep in the shower in the evening. So maybe that's not the best time because they're so tired. But again, let's have those conscious thoughts on the time of day to be able to get the kids to have a shower or bath. And again, choose which is best for your family. I was talking to one of my clients yesterday and she said she only has showers. She doesn't have a bath, as in she prefers, she likes to get in the bath and have a bath. That's awesome if you've got time to do that. And the other point there is, will the kids have a shower every night? I do know some families with big kids, like 6 kids, maybe a few less, that they might only have a shower 2 or 3 times a week, or alternate between who has showers if it's a very big family. So just because you did something a particular way when you grow up, or somebody says, oh, you must have a shower every day, or those sorts of wives' tales, we'll call them, just because somebody said that's how you should do it in the past, maybe it doesn't suit you and your family right now. So have a good think about those things. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What's going to work best for you and your family? And another thing to do before bed is this step 4, is to get your school uniform sorted. Fingers crossed that the kids do have a school uniform. It's the best thing in the world. And as you can see, I wear a uniform. I wear one every day. It's just so easy. I don't have to think about what I'm going to wear the next day. Does my shoes match my top? Or, same for the kids. Let's just get their uniform out, get their undies, get their socks, get their shoes, put everything together, maybe at the end of their bed, so that it's nice and easy for them to just fall into it the next morning. Another thing about uniform, if they don't actually have one from school, maybe you could sort of create your own. Get a number of tops that are much the same, that are easily washable, polo shirts, something like that, shorts, pants, and set up your own uniform for the kids so that it's much easier for them to get dressed in the morning, and do it yourself. Like me with my uniform, it doesn't have to have a label on it that's, has your business name, but it's just such, just one less thing for me to think about what I'm going to wear the next day. Comfy shoes, all the bits that go with it. It's just a fantastic system that we've set up, I've set up, and thankfully most schools do have a school uniform. So get them out the night before, so there's one less thing to do in the morning. Something else to do before bed. This is step 5. Again, we're going to have about 10 steps today, different tips to get the kids to school on time. Make time in the evening for the kids to pack their lunches. Again, we're trying to get the kids to do as much as they can with this whole system to get to school on time, and get them to pack what they can the night before, at least the non-perishable. I know families that freeze sandwiches and get them out, and they're perfect the next day, can put them straight into their lunch, and they keep nice and cool, ready for their lunchtime. And of course you can prepare the snacks as well, so you can cut up some fruit. You don't have to cut up all fruit. I ran one of these workshops a while ago, I think, or it might have been a Facebook post, and they said, oh, I don't ever cut up the fruit for the kids. Well, yeah, that's fair enough, but you can't take a whole watermelon to school. You have to cut that up. So again, up to you. Choose those snacks that are going to work for you. If it's a watermelon, cut it up. It'll last 3 or 4 days in the fridge. Carrots are good like that. Watermelon, rock melon, bunch of grapes. You can just sort of have them in little bunches in a nice big sealable container. Keep them in the fridge, and then all the kids need to do on the morning of school is get out that non-perishable stuff they started the night before and get it ready to go. And you can store the lunchbox if you're preparing it the night before in the fridge, or even straight in the school bag, so that it's ready to go. we'd love to hear your thoughts on what your kids take to school and what other tips like this are you using. Perhaps Ebony will have some ideas, or Mary Lou will be able to share what the kids take to school and how they prepare this for the kids, or maybe the kids do it themselves. I'm just getting a little drink, one moment. So step 6 is to prepare breakfast. So this might be something that you would want to do straight after dinner. You've cleared up the dinner dishes and set the table for breakfast. I'm sure my grandma used to do this. My mum's mum, when we were visiting, particularly with all of us, because we're a big group, 4 kids and mum and dad, prepare the breakfast table at night. So you get the plates and bowls and spoons, maybe the cereal, the bread, whatever you probably put. Don't put the milk out, I don't think is a good idea, but anything that you can have set on the table so the kids can just come and help themselves the next morning. Again, getting them to be a part of preparing it, but also giving them the chance to get their own breakfast. And something I don't think I've got written on here is that my kids wouldn't put their school uniform on in the morning until they've had their breakfast. So just so they're not spilling their breakfast and also their toothpaste down their school uniform, they wouldn't get dressed until they were pretty well ready to go out the door. Again, that can save washing and can save time and tears. Don't want people crying because they've got, toothpaste down their front. So have a bit of a go at that. As I said, straight after dinner, get breakfast ready. It's on the table, ready to go. And we're going to look at step 7 now, and that is about having a set time in the morning to get up. Now, that is based on how long it takes you to get ready. As I said, if it takes you an hour to get ready in the morning, make sure you put that alarm on with plenty of time. Please don't press the snooze button. Just get up. The body doesn't like the snooze button. The body wants to get up and it wants to get going. My body wanted to get up at 4:15 this morning, so I've had a long day already. It's just after 10:23 here. Feel like I've done half a day's work already, but have that alarm clock set at a good time. And the other point is get the kids involved in this. Give them the alarm clock. Let them figure out how it works. Most of the research says don't have this as a phone. Make sure it's an alarm clock. It'll sort of digital devices out of their bedrooms. Let them figure out what time they need to get up, how to set it, and then leave them to get up when the alarm goes off. Don't go in there and poke them and remind them, because they'll be relying on you to be coming in. And then they can explain to the teacher why they're late if they don't get up on time. So again, we're trying to empower the kids to do as much as this as they can on their own. That's no problem, Mary Lou. That's no worries. Thank you. I'm going to, sorry, just looking at, you can share that whenever you like, Mary Lou, towards the end or now, up to you. We've got some bit of an overview of 10 tips to get to school. So whenever you like, that's no problem. So that was all about the alarm clock. Let's get the kids involved in that one. And we have also a checklist to share. And Mary Lou's got that link she can share with us as well. You can download one from our website and alter it for yourself, or just use it as it is, and get the kids to tick things off as they're going. They've had breakfast, they've cleaned their teeth, they've got their lunch, they've got their water bottle, and they can go through and be responsible for packing their bag. So this is a great thing to do in the morning, again, for them to have the responsibility of getting this stuff sorted out, and also making sure they don't miss something. So frustrating when they get to school and they've forgotten their school uniform or something, not school uniform, sport uniform. So if they've got that on their checklist, that will be less chance that they will forget it. So have a look at that list from the website that Mary Lou has just put in the chat. You can copy or I think you'd probably copy it and paste it into your search engine, or just right click on it and open it from there, I think. So step 9 is know what time in the morning that you need to go out the door. Again, this is one of these important touch times during the day. So time to get up, time to get in the shower, time to walk out the door. There might be a few other important times that you know in your head that you need to have done these things before this time. And this get out the door one is so important. And it's not, if it says 8 o'clock and that's the time you need to get out the door, but that is the time that you're actually walking out. But sometimes it takes a little bit longer than that. If you need to get to the car, get everybody strapped in, get the school bags in, you might and actually be pulling out of the driveway at 8 o'clock. Well, you might have a reminder at 10 minutes to 8 that, all right, everybody, it's time to go and get in the car, because it'll take a little while for those last few minute things to happen. People putting on their shoes at the last second, even though you might have told them that a few times already, it'll take a few minutes. And I still even need to do with my family. If we need to pull out of the driveway at a specific time, the reminders need to happen a little bit earlier than that, 5 or 10 minutes before. As I say, just it takes a few minutes to get into the car. So be mindful of that as well, because a few minutes here and there can make a big difference as well. It could mean that you're late if you are leaving a few minutes late. You know, you get stuck in that really heavy school traffic or whatever it might be. So know what time it is that you need to be heading out the door, and have an alarm a few minutes before that so that you're not losing that. Don't forget, Mary Lou has put those couple of documents in the Get the Kids to School on Time article, and sorry, it's like a 10 tips, and also the checklist for the morning. So as I say, you can right click on them and open it directly from there, or copy and paste it into your browser. All right, don't forget to ask me any other questions that you have as we are going along. Bill or Ebony, have we lost Ebony? She might have jumped off. Let me know if there's anything else, any tips that you would like to share with anyone. And also if there's any other challenges that you are trying to address. We've just got another couple of tips here, and then I'm going to share that offer about continuing on our time management journey. In step 10, this is actually probably one of my favorite tips, and that is for the parents or caregivers, whoever responsibility is to getting the kids up and about and to school on time, is to follow all of those previous 9 steps yourself, so that you aren't the one holding things up in the morning. So making sure you're up and got plenty of time. As I said, I get up, an hour, actually only 10 minutes before my younger son, but it's a couple of hours before they need to walk out the door. And, we have the amount of time to do things in the morning. As I said, making sure that you're not the one that's running late. You're not the one pushing the snooze button, which means everybody is grumpy because they're running late and you're squawking at the kids. And let's ensure you've got plenty of time to make your own lunch and to do all the things that you need to do. And you're not the one holding things up. And if things are really busy in your household, as Ebony said, she's got 3 little people, if I read her message correctly, maybe you could get some extra help on board in the mornings or evenings, whichever might free you up the most. Can an in-law come over, or a neighbor, or like a young adult, 12, 13, 14-year-old that lives nearby, that could come and help you in the mornings if they are busy and stressful, or it's like a babysitter or an au pair type person that might be able to come and help you in the morning. Please really do call out for help. Sometimes you have to pay for this extra help. Other times there might just be somebody that's happy that come and help you, that lives nearby, that would really be happy to help you out in these circumstances. But as step 10 says, make sure that you're not the one holding things up in the morning. Make sure you're getting up and doing your things. So here we are. This is an overview of all the sort of steps and tips that we've talked about today and how to maintain it. An important one is to encourage regular bedtime. So making sure that you start dinner at a good time in the evening so that you've got time to prepare the dinner, time to eat the dinner. If you're going to do showers and lunches and reading and a lot of these things that we've been talking about in the evening, I was lucky that I was working from home a lot, so I could do a lot of these preparations early in the evening, like at 4 o'clock, and eat at 5 with the kids, and then have enough time ready for them to be in bed by 7. But again, you might want to get some help with this bedtime routine, whether it's somebody that lives in your house, like your husband, your wife, your partner, whoever, or get some outside help to come and help at these busy times of the day, and empower the kids to do the things themselves. And I said in there in brackets with an exclamation mark, encourage them to do it their way. If they want to put the left shoe on and then the right one, but you reckon they should do it the other way around, well, just let them figure it out. Give them some grace. I'm not saying they get to run the show, but if it's going to get the job done and they're going to get it done on time and it makes everybody happier, get them to do it their way, whatever it might be. So please, try and let them learn these skills. As Bill said, those lifelong skills that they're learning as they're getting themselves ready for school. And as the third point there says, get the kids to explain themselves why they're late for school. I had this exact example of a family friend here whose kids went to the same school as my boys. And it was actually the school principal that said to the mum, just let the kids go, and if they're going to be late, they will have to come and explain themselves to me. And she was the school principal. Don't you fuss yourself about it. Let them be late, but if they are late, they'll have to come and explain themselves to me. So as far as I know, they pulled their socks up pretty quickly when they knew that if they were going to be late, they would have to go and see the school principal in the morning. So, put the onus on them. I know you can't perhaps do that when they're prep or something, but maybe you could have a bit of a think about it. And as I said, all the way through the session, keep an eye on the clock. Know those important times, thinking, oh yes, I need to be in the shower by 7:30, in the car by 8, and those sorts of things. Use reminders on your phone, whether it's an actual alarm or notifications from your Google Calendar or something like that, so that you can stay on track during the morning. And also be kind to yourself. Give yourself some slack, as I said, with little school-age kids. It is a busy and messy time of life. So, give yourself a little bit of grace. If there's a little bit of mess in the morning when you've left, do your best to just forget about it until you get home that night. But try and do things as you are going, packing up if you can on your way, again, getting the kids involved. So that's my maintenance tips for getting to school on time, particularly that regular bedtime. I still to this day have an alarm that goes off to say it's bedtime. So I encourage everybody to have a bedtime alarm. So it's to remind us to get up off the couch and go to bed ourselves. So as promised, I would love for you to continue your decluttering and time management journey by joining me on this 6-week program. It's a one-on-one program, so it would just be you and me working together. We have an hour call each week, and then there's a 15-minute catch up or sort of check in between as well as a bonus There's a workbook and a 30-day checklist and a private Facebook group as well. So 6-week program. If you really are struggling with your time management and there really is a challenge, you know, if you want to get a family routine, these morning routines sorted, get you to work on time, get the kids to school on time, let's work through it together. So $8.97 for that program, 6 weeks, just you and me on Zoom. Let's get you sorted out. And Mary Lou has just put the link she's just put the link to that booking if you would like to join me. I'm glad Bill said that he thinks that this time management session today is one of the best, most important, he says. Thank you. I do appreciate that, Bill. Time management is so important. If you can't get yourself somewhere on time, it's not a good look, I think, and it just causes so much stress as well. So again, have a look at that link and join us. If you're watching this on replay, recording, we will have all of those links in the comments on YouTube. And also, if you couldn't make it today, we're sending out the recording to everybody. So also, thank you for coming today. And as a thanks, I would like to offer you a 15-minute chat on Zoom, a free, no obligation chat, 15 minutes. Let's set up your decluttering and organizing journey. Or send me an email, julie@spaceandtime.com.au. Thank you, Mary Lou. She's just put that link to book that time through my calendar so we can get you sorted out with your time management. So thank you again for coming. Here are a few other resources that you might be able to look up on the Space and Time Sprint website. Morning and afternoon routines. There's also Declutter Your Life online program, Declutter Your online program. You can sign up to our newsletter. And I really wish you all the best for getting the kids to school on time. Have a look at all those resources on Space and Time. We spend quite a lot of time on that website. Lots of different resources there. So look up school or routines and you'll find lots of things that pop up if you just use a little magnifying glass. I think if you're on a mobile device, it's right down the bottom. You can find that little search function, or if you're on the computer, on your desktop computer, I think there's a little magnifying glass up to the right. So just look out for that. So where are we? We're right at the end of the session. I thank you all for coming, and it's been great to share these tips with you. Thank you. We've got some other workshops coming up over the next few months. We're doing them fortnightly at this same time, so please keep in touch with us on our Facebook, through the website, and we'll continue to share our decluttering and organizing tips with you so that you can declutter and organize your home and make life less stressful. We haven't quite gone for the whole hour today, but I think we've said what we need to. Make sure you save the chat on the way out so you've got all those links. But again, we will send them out this afternoon with our thank you email to everybody. But I really do look forward to seeing you at the next session, at the next free session from Space and Time, and look forward to seeing you then. Bye for now. Thanks, Bill. Awesome to see you. Thanks, Mary Lou.
Thanks, Julie. Thanks, Bill.
Take care. Bye for now.